Hello everyone, it's Cherie. Welcome to my channel. This is another video showing my journaling process. It's a tad bit different though because it's actually a mixed media a process in my junk journal. So I'm just showing you the pictures that I wanted to use, and I had just pulled out a couple of little things that I thought I might use. This journal is my summer journal. I actually have a flip through of it on my channel. You can see it before I started actually journaling in it. I knew that I wanted to find a spot that had a scrapbooking paper on one side, and at least one side, and then the other side I was just going to put a piece of acrylic painting paper, glue it on there, and that's the spot that I chose. So I just threw some PVA glue on that paper, on that ledger paper, and yes, it did kind of hurt me a little bit on the inside to cover up that beautiful ledger paper. So pretty. But I wasn't intending on doing a mixed media page. I had sat down with my 5-year-old. She wanted to paint, and I pulled out the paints for her, the little craft paints that you can get at, Walmart or Hobby Lobby or Michael's, just the cheapo ones. And I sat down, and she sits across from me to work in my junk journal, and I thought, you know what, I'm going to go ahead and get messy and use some paints too. So I have some tissue paper that I was gluing down to add some texture, so it wouldn't just be like a flat surface. And I knew I was going to use some blues, lots of blues. And I was just showing you, I'm using the PVA and that glue and seal, but I'm not quite so sure about that glue and seal. I don't know if maybe I've just had it for too long and it's not, like maybe it's gone bad, I don't know. But it was kind of clumpy. So my video cut out when I was doing the, my stenciling, which I used gesso to do my stenciling. And I also, as well as the tissue paper and other papers, I put down some scrap of lace as well on there, it's over in the top right hand corner of the right page and the bottom left hand corner of the left page. So yeah, so I'm just throwing some glue on here. I had her paints on a paper plate, and that's what I usually use whenever she paints. It's just a paper plate. So I was using her paints, and then I had a little plate for myself with some other colors, and I wanted different shades of blue, so I'm just kind of slapping it on here. I do not consider myself an artist as far as a painter at all. I like to do it because it's fun, and I have no skill, I guess you would say. I don't even know, I know there's certain brushes for different medias, but I don't know what brush is for what kind of thing. I just kind of was like, well, I need a big brush, so I grabbed a big brush and just, slap it on there. So yeah, so there's different colors going on, different shades on the page. And I knew I wanted the top to be yellow, and I tried it, but the other paper was kind of showing through too much, so I decided to go over it with white paint first, just kind of prime it. And I did use some clear gesso too after I put down my tissue paper and stuff. I put a whole bunch of clear gesso on it so that it would, prime the paper. So So there's my yellow, and I had different shades of yellow in there and some red, obviously. And like I said, I was using my paint, and at this time I think she was done, so I was trying to use up some of the paint that she had on her paper plate so it wouldn't go to waste. And then I grabbed my Dilutions, the yellow, and was trying to make those, that texture from the stencil kind of pop up there. So yeah, so I wasn't planning on doing this. I didn't really have any supplies out. I just kind of was grabbing what I needed as I went. And there, that's the paint that I used. So when I was done, my desk was a hot mess because I had pulled out some stuff for journaling, and then I decided to paint, so it was just a hot mess. So I had cut out this boat shape haphazardly, as you can see, and then stitched around it because I thought, well, maybe I'll try to put her in a boat because she's on a boat, and she's looking through her papa's binoculars there. I don't end up using the boat, but there's my plates. Yeah, so then I was like, well, let me throw some white to try to do waves, which it doesn't end up looking like waves, but okay. It's, you know, it is what it is. I like it either way. Just throw on a whole bunch of stuff and kind of see where you go from there. And it was fun. Like I said, I haven't done anything mixed media-y in a long time. A very, very long time. So yeah, it was fun to play and get messy. So I'm just doing some splatters, and then I have this. I wanted to add some different colors on the blue, so it wouldn't just be blue, you know, with different shades of blue. I wanted to add just, you know, something else. And I had this Pearl X pigment copper paint. It's the powder that you just add a little water to, and it's very pigmented. And I was just kind of highlighting the textures and adding some more color to it. Which I like the way that it looks, and I really like the way that it all turned out. Yeah, so I was using my brush and my finger, and then I just picked up some of the white paint that was on the plate with my finger and was rubbing it over top of the texture. So, what was I doing there? I think I was looking for an ink. Yeah, like a spray ink, which is, I think that was the Heidi Swap. I think it was Seafoam or something like that, but I haven't used them in forever, so it wasn't doing exactly what I wanted to, but it added another color on there, so I'm fine with it. And then I was just inking the edges with some Inka Gold with my finger, and yeah, just going around both the pages with it. And then I decided to use that on some of the textured areas, which I really liked a lot because it was really making them pop out. So I was happy with that. And you can kind of see that lace poking through on the left hand side. And then here, I think it was pulling out my stamps. I was just looking for some random background stamps. I didn't really have, anything in mind. I was just kind of like, what can I plop on here? And then I had this stamp set that I got from Tuesday morning. And it had a few background stamps on it. So yeah, so I just kind of, no rhyme or reason, just stamped around the page. And then that one I've had forever. I love it. And then that was just like a little scripty stamp. And then the stamp set, that the first one that I used that came out of that background package, it had this stamp set in it as well. So I thought, well, I'll go ahead and use that at the bottom. And then that one was just a random one as well. So now I was trying to figure out where exactly I wanted to put my stuff, my pictures, and what other things I wanted to use with it. And I had that little scrap that I used to back the photo with. It's a Western Union printable scrap. And I ended up cutting out some of those jellyfish from that other paper. And the boat, the one image of the boat there, it was in my scrap box, so I thought, well, I'll go ahead and use that too. I like it. And I was just kind of digging through some summer ephemera that I had in my stash, and then I ran across these acetate. They're like photo overlays. You put them over top of your photo, and there's like a design on your photo. But I thought maybe I could use it as a pocket. And then that's a fabric flower that I cut from an old curtain, a vintage curtain that I absolutely love, and I knew I would eventually use it in my junk journal. I thought I would, which I probably will, make a journal out of it just because it's so pretty. And I love the blues. So yeah, so I just cut out a couple of those florals, and I thought that I would use them on this page. And I sewed the one flower in the corner of that acetate piece. And I'm just gluing down some of those jellyfish. And then I tried to I was thinking I could glue that acetate piece down, but yeah, that wasn't happening. So I ended up having to staple it. And then that die cut there, I thought I could make it work, but it didn't. So that's just me gluing that flower part down, which I really like how that looks. and it gives it another, you know, another texture on there. And I love it whenever I can actually use up my scraps in my projects. Makes me feel good. And then I just put a little piece of washi on there, just because it kind of looked bare at the top. And then I wanted to add a little bit of red because she's got, her little floaty was red. So I wanted to add a little bit of red on the page because there was red in the photo. So there I am trying to glue down that acetate piece, but yeah, it wasn't sticking. So I just broke out my little mini stapler, which is from Tim Holtz. It's called a tiny attacher. And stapled it on there. I love that thing. And I knew, I knew whenever I looked at the photo of her looking through the binoculars, her papa's binoculars, that I wanted my title to be, "What do you see, little one?" So that was, you know, the whole reason for the page, pretty much, was that photo. Because she loves looking through those binoculars when we go out on the boat. And I wanted to put a little piece of tape on the left side of that acetate piece just to help secure it down. And I went with the yellow because yellow is my favorite color, so I don't really, you know, need an excuse to use it. And then that was just a little ticket in the summer ephemera that I had. And it had the months, the summer months on it, June, July, and August. So this stamp set is, I've showed it before in some of my videos. It's my favorite alphabet stamp set. And I think I got it at a yard sale or something. It's definitely one of my best purchases because I use it all the time. And I was trying to see if I could fit "What do you see, little one" on there, or at least part of it anyways. So then I thought, well, I could stamp out some and then use maybe some of my alphabet tiny stickers, but I don't end up using them. So yeah, so I've got the word "what" pulled out. And then I actually messed up here. Sometimes these stamps get me, and it's my fault because I did not look or pay attention. I just grabbed it and stamped a D sideways. But I was like, oh well, I can cover it up later. Not a big deal. So yeah, so every summer we go scalloping, and we go with my in-laws, and we take the boat out to the ocean and look for scallops and, you know, other things. We love to watch the dolphins and just the sea life. We go fishing, and it's lots of fun. So yeah, so I stamped out "What do you see?" and I did "see" as SEA, and then I just wrote "little one" with my Sharpie. And then there's that ticket again. And I just circled the month of July, and I just wrote a little thing on there about my daughter loving the boat. Yes, she does. She loves the boat. Every day that we were on vacation, she would say, "Are we going on an adventure today?" And the adventure was going on the boat. So then I was trying to figure out what exactly I wanted to do next. Excuse me. And then I had this little tag that was in my summer stash, and that little Project Life card that I was like thinking I could use for my journaling. And I just journaled, and I did a little quote and put some flip-flops on the back, and then I stapled that other photo that I had of them on the dock fishing on the back of that tag. And I also wanted to put some quote stickers on the page, and that was a Tim Holtz quote book. Excuse me. And I was just kind of looking for things about, or phrases for, seeking things, or being curious, or adventure, or looking, or, something like that. And then I had put the glue, but it wasn't sticking, so I smashed the page down to get it to stick. And so yeah, so that is, that's it. That's what I did. So I hope y'all enjoyed this process, and I will see you next time.